if you, thanks for returning, Ganesh. So I just need to know, have anyone worked on Azure previously? You know what is Azure and how the Azure portal looks, or at least you know what is cloud services. So just can I get an overview?
As from my end, like I know what is the cloud related and what the basic related, how the I just have a little idea in the AWS how to create the EC2 instances and all, how to allocate the machines and all. I have just that basics and all. So I saw the Azure portal and all, but I don't have any much practical thing oriented.
Okay,
that's fine.
Thanks. Others, do you have any previous experience in Azure?
Yeah, hi. I also don't have an experience in like Azure.
No, your voice is a bit breaking, Anurag. Okay.
Yeah. Hi. Yeah, this is Priyanka.
Okay, Priyanka. Your name is.
Yeah, it's mentioned that.
Okay.
My name is Priyanka.
Okay. Okay, Priyanka. Fine.
I also don't have experience with this Azure.
Okay, you don't have previous experience. Fine. Kalyan, do you have previous experience or any idea of Azure?
Actually, I worked on Splunk, so Azure servers I have maintained and all, but yeah, the basic side.
Okay, fine. Karthik.
Sir.
Yes, Karthik. Do you have any basic idea about Azure or any basic fundamentals about cloud computing?
No, sir.
Okay, good, fine, no issues. Venkatesh. Venkatesh, you there? Fine. When are you there?
Yeah, I don't have any experience on cloud side.
Fine. Okay, good. So we will start with the basics. That is Azure basics of the fundamentals of the Azure and the fundamentals of cloud computing. Then we will move further. Okay, Ganesh, the batch size is 6, right? Or we're expecting someone else in future, means tomorrow like that, or it is fixed?
There are like 2 to 3 more people supposed to join, but there is some issues. They will join in between the session. If not, like we have 6 members.
Okay, fine. Okay, Ganesh. Yeah. Okay, guys, we will start. Okay, so first of all, we are going to see what is Azure. Okay, so before jumping into data engineering concepts and all, you need to know what is Azure and what are the services available in Azure. Then only you can able to study about the data engineering and you can implement all the data engineering tech stacks in the Azure. Okay, so for that, I'm going to share my PPTs to you to explain you what is Azure and cloud models, everything. Let me share my screen. Can you able to see my screen, the PPT?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. So I already introduced myself, like I'm Harun. I'm going to be a trainer for this data engineering course. I'm working as a senior data engineer and I'm a Microsoft certified trainer as well as Microsoft certified Azure data engineer. Okay. So this is the certification path. Okay. So in the certification path, you can see you are all targeting for this Azure data engineer, right? So for Azure data engineer, previously it was like you need to complete DP-200 and DP-201. Okay. From this year, they combined these two and they have changed it to DP-203. Okay. So you can crack DP-203 to get this Azure data engineer badge. Okay. So it is good to have AZ 900, but it is not mandatory. Before 3 years, it was like you need to complete AZ 900, you need to complete DP-900, then only you can able to write the DP-203. But now it is not at all required one. Okay, you can directly go and write the DP-203, but I suggest you to write AZ 900 if possible. Okay, because it will add a weightage to your profile anyway, right? You're having multiple certifications from Azure, it is generally going to add a weightage because anyway you're going to learn all the concepts for this AZ 900. Okay, so I would like to ask you to give this certification as well. If at all you are having the free certification link from your organization. That means the voucher from your organization. Okay. Otherwise, I will also tell you how to get the free subscription for this AZ 900. Okay. We can try and get the free vouchers if possible. Okay. So yeah, before moving into this, I'm going to show you what are all the concepts that we are going to see. Okay, as a fundamental thing. So this you can ignore this AZ 900 because you're not going to see the entire thing for the that belongs to AZ 900. Okay, we are just going to see about the overviews of the fundamental topics because our target is to become a data engineer. Okay, so we are going to see the overview about the AZ 900 course. Okay, you are going to see about the basics of what is cloud concepts and what are the core services available in Azure, and security part I will teach you basics which is necessary for a data engineer, and the identity and governance I will give you the overview. Cost and service level agreement also we can see. Okay, so these are all the things that we are going to cover for the Azure basics. Once you are good at the Azure basics, then we will go along with our curriculum, and then we'll deep dive into the data engineering part. So is the plan sounds good to you all? Or do you have any concerns?
Good.
Okay,
Yeah, it's good.
It's good, right? Okay. I request everyone because we are only you people only 6 members, right? So you can be more interactive in this session. Okay. So then only you can raise question. Okay. Then I can solve it to you. While solving, other person will get more question, so that it will, if it is more interactive, means you will get more knowledge from the session. Okay. So let me share the another PPT to you all. Okay, so generally, what is cloud computing? You need to understand it. Okay, so what is cloud computing means? So what are all the computing activities that you are doing? Okay, so generally you are doing all the computing activities in your system. So those computing activities you are going to do it in a cloud environment. So what is cloud environment? All the infrastructure you are going to maintain it from some other data center, not from your on-premises location. That means not from your system or the servers that located in your office premises. Okay, you are going to utilize the third-party servers. Okay, the cloud partner servers, that is either Microsoft Azure or AWS or GCP or Alibaba Cloud. Okay, there are a lot of cloud services are available in market, but Azure is the market leader in that because already all the 80% of the organization things are licensed with Microsoft, like Office 365 and Teams, Power BI, those kind of things. So it is easy for them to get the Microsoft Azure adapted for them. Okay, so Microsoft Azure is market leader and it is widely spread around the globe. We are going to see in which region and all Microsoft Azure is there, everything in the future slides. Okay. We'll continue. So basically, the cloud, there are 3 models available in cloud. Okay, so there are 3 models. One is the public cloud, then the private cloud, and the other one is a hybrid cloud. So we are going to see about what is public, private, and hybrid. So before that, you need to understand about the cloud computing. So as I said, what are the computing services that you are going to perform on your machine? You are going to do it in a cloud environment. Okay, that means the machine will present in cloud environment. You are going to access the data. You are going to store the data. So through a network, and you are going to do some analysis work over the data. Okay. So all these things you are going to do, but none of the data or the compute is going to be available at your desktop or your laptop. Okay. It is going to be available on the data center server machine, and you are going to access it through the internet. Okay. So the main prerequisite is internet here. You need to connect it to the internet. That cloud, if you want to access a cloud service, you need to connect to an internet. It is simple, like if whenever you are storing your images in the Google Cloud, when you can able to upload it, when you are having an internet, only you can able to upload it. When you can retrieve it, whenever you are having an internet, you can able to retrieve it, right? So you are accessing some storage through internet. Same like here also, you can access the computing, networking, storage, everything from data center to internet. So in this, there are 3 models. Okay, as I said, there are a public, private, and hybrid. So first we will see what is private cloud. Okay, then we will move to public. So we can easily understand it. So what is private cloud? Consider you are having your own organization. Okay, it is a 100-year-old organization. So while building an organization itself, what you did some 50 years back, 100 years back, you built a data center for your organization. That means you are having your own networking unit, storage unit, computing unit, everything you are having at your office premises itself. Okay, and you are you employed several IT engineers, networking engineers. Okay, everyone into that office premises. They are going to take care of the data center. Okay, they are going to take care of the hardware upgradation, software upgradation, and maintenance activity, patch updates, everything that network engineers or the IT infrastructure engineers is going to take care. That means you are having your private data center. So that is called as a private cloud. So that private cloud is only for your organization, right? So you created the organization, sorry, you created the data center particularly for your organization. Public cloud means the third-party cloud vendors like all our Azure, AWS, GCP, Alibaba, all are public clouds. So what is meant by public cloud? By the name implies, public cloud means the service is available for the general public. Okay, so now you are thinking like, okay, I need some storage unit to store the data, and I need to process it using the data bricks. So I need to get some server and storage. So if you want to erect your own data center, it is going to cost you more, because if you want to rent a space and you need to purchase the hardwares, you need to purchase the networking units, then you need to install everything, then you need to deploy it. Okay, it is going to cost you a lot of amount as well as cost you a lot of time. Instead of that, you can simply go to Azure. Okay, you can create a subscription, you can create your account, you can create the resources, you can create a storage account, you can create a Databricks workspace, then you can start creating your Databricks notebook codes. Okay, so it is simple as like you are going and purchasing something from shops. So that is very easy when it comes to public cloud. Okay, so that is the major difference between the private cloud and public cloud. Any doubts in this public and private cloud?
No.
No.
Okay, so then next we are having this hybrid cloud. So what is hybrid cloud? Hybrid cloud means the combination of both the public and the private. Consider you are having your organization, like 50 years old organization. You are already having your data center. Okay, so your own data center, that is a private data center. Now you are thinking to expand your business. Now you are in India. Okay, you are having data center in India. Now you are thinking to expand your business in Dubai, that is UAE region. Okay, so now if you want to expand your business, that means you need to have your data center there, but it is going to cost you more, because you need to rent a space there, you need to install everything, it is going to cost you more. So what you can do, you can literally opt for the Azure cloud services from the UAE region. So already you are having a private cloud. Now you are creating the services from the Azure, that is from UAE region. So your organization belongs to a hybrid cloud model, because you are having both. Okay, so in that case, it is called as hybrid cloud. Now, most of the organizations are hybrid cloud models only, because most of the organizations started way before, right? At that time, there is no cloud concepts, so they were dependent on the data center, the physical data center. That means the on-premises data center. But when this cloud technology emerges, they are keep on upgrading themselves into the cloud environment. Okay, they are moving out of the on-premises technology and they are keep on moving into the cloud environment. Okay, got it? Got the difference between the public, private, and hybrid?
Yeah, got
Okay,
it.
fine. Okay, so then you need to know what are all the benefits for going with the public cloud. That means the cloud, Azure or AWS, whatever it is. Now we are going to see only about the cloud service. Okay, we are not going to see about what is Microsoft Azure and all. We are seeing the benefits of cloud. Okay, so if you go to the cloud service, what is the benefit? So you are going to save a lot of cost here. How? You are going to pay only for what are the service that you are using, right? That is called as operational expenditure. You are going to do operational expenditure when you opt for the public cloud. But if you go for a private cloud, you are going to spend in a capital expenditure model. Okay, capital expenditure model means you are going to spend some amount in front. That means you are going to spend a huge amount in infrastructure and you are going to build everything. You're going to employ a resource. You're going to maintain the hardware. Everything you're going to do. So a huge amount is involved in that. But if you go for the public cloud, then you are going to pay only for what are on the service that you are using. Okay, there are around 200 plus services available in Azure. Okay, you can go and choose only one or two services for your current project. For the next project, you may require 10 plus services. You can go and utilize those 10 plus services. For the third project, you will require only one service. So that time you can opt for only one service. So here you are not creating the dependency. Okay, but in private cloud, if you want to utilize one or two services, you need to create all the hardware, you need to deploy everything, you need to maintain everything around the 365 days. Okay, but in public cloud, it is totally neglected. You can simply compare this to like buying a car and spending everything on maintenance like that. That is a capital expenditure. Renting a car from Uber or Ola, that is a model for operational expenditure. Okay, so whenever you require, you are going to rent it from the cab service, that is operational expenditure. But if you are going to invest a lot of amount and buying a car and you are going to do the service monthly wise and you are going to maintain it, that is capital expenditure. Okay, got it? The difference between capital expenditure and operational expenditure.
Yeah.
Okay, so by the definition, anyone can please tell me which one it looks good, whether capex or opex, capital expenditure or operational expenditure.
So that depends on business, right?
Yes, that depends on business. Yes, but cost-wise, always the operational expenditure is best. If you see a cost-wise, the operational expenditure is best. Okay, but obviously, when you are going to move to cloud, then you are going to spend on operational expenditure only. Okay, because capital expenditure is inclined with the physical data. That means the private data center. So obviously, all the Azure or all the cloud services implies on operational expenditure model. Okay, that we used to call it as a consumption-based model. By the name implies, whatever you are consuming, you are going to pay for it. Okay, that is consumption-based model. So these are the major benefits from the cloud. Okay, high availability. What is high availability? So the service is going to be available for you all the time, 24/7, 365 days. It is going to available. But it is based on SLA. Okay, so all the services will be provided to you based on some SLA, like starting from 99% to 99.999%. We used to say it as 2 nines to 5 nines. Okay, 29 means 99%, 59 means 99.999%. Okay, it totally depends on services and in which region you are deploying the service and how much you are paying for it. Okay, so it totally depends on all these aspects. We will see this SLAs and everything in further slides. Okay, but you need to know that cloud, if you are going for a cloud, then the service will be highly available for you. Okay, because they are going to separately maintain everything on behalf of you. You don't need to worry about the maintenance or any patch updates or software updates, hardware updates and all. They are going to maintain it everything for you. Okay, then it is fault tolerance. What is fault tolerant? If at all, if any server is going down, immediately will bounce back, or they will change the node to some other server. Okay, so it is fault tolerant. Cloud service is fault tolerant because they are going to take care of it. You will not feel the difference. You will not feel that it got disconnected because they are signing it for that, right? They are signing it for high availability. High availability means they need to maintain it as a fault tolerant. Then scalability, elasticity. What is scalability? Scalability means scaling up or scaling down based on your requirement. For example, today you are having some workload which requires 10 nodes. Okay, consider 10 nodes means 10 machines you need. Okay, so you are processing your data with 10 machines. Tomorrow the data workload got reduced. You need only 2 nodes, so you can scale down your machine. Okay, so day after tomorrow, if you need more, you can scale up to 5 again. But in case if it is a private, you cannot scale up and scale down daily, right? Because once you invested for 10 machines, then that's it. You invested for the 10 machine. All the 365 days you are going to maintain and support for the 10 machines. But in public cloud, you don't need to worry about the machines. If needed, you upgrade for 10 machines. If you don't want, downgrade for 3 machines. Okay, that is scalability. So manually, if you're upgrading and downgrading, that is scalability. based on the requirement, if it is automatically upgrading and downgrading, that is elasticity. Okay, that is the scalability and elasticity for you. Global reach. So what is global reach here? So global reach, Azure is having 60 plus region. Okay, Azure is Azure data centers are present in 60 plus region. That means around 140 plus countries it is having its data center. I will show you the global map of the regions and all. Okay, so Azure is having around 140 countries, around 140 countries. So globally it is available. So you can see the matching point as a customer latency capabilities. So that means you are sitting in India, okay, and you are going to deploy the service in any other country. For example, you are going to target a US customer. Okay, you are going to create some e-commerce website in US region. So that time, if you are having your data and all other application in India data center, then those customers going to face a latency, because every time they are fetching the data from the website or they are seeing something from the description, product description, they need to hit the India data center, right? So customers going to face the latency in that. So instead of that, what you can do, sitting in India, you can deploy all the services, storage units, everything in the US data center. So the US clients will not face any latency while hitting the US data center. Okay. So then agility. So agility means acting upon to the changes. So if suddenly some upgradation is coming, it will immediately upgrade. They will immediately upgrade the hardware. They will immediately update the software. But if it is a private cloud, see, if some software update or hardware update, if you want to do, you need to raise the PO. You need to get end level of approvals. Okay, then you need to install it and you need to deploy it. So there is a lot of process involved in it. Okay, but in case of cloud computing, they are competitive, right? They need to compete with their AWS or GCP, right? So what they will do, they will immediately upgrade their softwares or hardwares. Okay, that is agility. So predictive cost consideration. What is predictive cost consideration is, you will come to know before itself how much it is going to cost me. When deploying a resource itself, it will show you per hour this much amount, per month this much amount. Those kind of predictive cost analysis it will show you, but it is totally approximate amount only. Okay, because you are going to deploy the resource and based on the usage it is going to run, but predictively you can get to know how much it will get approximate amount. Okay, so that is predictive cost consideration. You can that is one of the benefit here. Then disaster recovery. So what is disaster recovery? You might have worked on the SQL databases or any other services. They will say DR. DR means if at all, if any natural calamities or any server breakout or anything is happening, they will do this disaster recovery. That means they will get the data from the backup database and they will give it to you. So that is called as disaster recovery here. Okay, so disaster recovery is available here also. Then we do have this. Then we do have the security. So Microsoft Azure is very secured. Okay, we don't need to worry about the security part because they are compiled with all the privacy statement and the data protection statement. They have their documents signed in their portal, so they aligned with all the data threat protections. Okay, so our data is going to be more secured in Azure. So these are all the cloud benefits, and this is the capex and opex that we saw, capital expenditure and operational expenditure. Know this. And I said this is a consumption-based model. Consumption-based model means whatever you are going to consume, you are going to pay for it. Okay, pay as you go. That is the Azure mantra. That is pay as you go. Whatever you are using, pay for it. Okay. Any doubt till here? Benefits of cloud.
No, it's fine.
Fine, right? So we are seeing the basic overview. So only I'm going in a best faster way. If you want to slow down, means kindly tell me. Is this pace is fine, or I want to slow it down? Or you want how we want it? Since
This is fine. Yeah, this is fine.
Okay. I hope others also fine with this. Okay, we'll move forward. Okay, now we are going to see about the cloud services. This is one of the major concepts you need to know. Okay, I hope you all might have heard these terminologies before. That what is IaaS, what is PaaS, and what is SaaS. We are going to see. Okay, so we used to call this as the IaaS, that is infrastructure as a service. Then PaaS, platform as a service, and SaaS, software as a service. Okay, so what is this infrastructure as a service? So you can go to a cloud provider and you can ask them to provide only infrastructure to you. Okay, if you have a capability to develop the tools, so for coding, you can go and you can ask only for the infrastructure. So they will give you the storage, server, networking services. So after that, you need to take care. Okay, after getting the infrastructure, you need to work along with that. Okay, so this is infrastructure as a service. They will give you the server, networking, those kind of infrastructure they will provide. So with this infrastructure, you can develop your application, or you can do whatever you want. Okay, so this is IaaS service that cloud is providing. Next one is PaaS, platform as a service. Okay, here along with the infrastructure, they will provide you the operating system as well as the platforms. So what is platform here? The databases is a platform, and Visual Studio is a platform. Informatica kind of things are there, right? Where you can write your codes and execute the codes. So to write and execute a code, you need some platform, right? The development environment. So those are all platform. So if you are going to the cloud provider and ask, hey, I need an infrastructure as well as I need a platform to write the code, because I know how to develop. I know how to develop a code. I know how to develop application, but I don't have any infrastructure with me. I don't have any platform with me. So give me this, I will start coding on that, and I will create my own application. So if you want those kind of thing, you can go for the PaaS services. Okay, but consider next is SaaS. Consider you don't know any coding. Okay, yours is an accounting company. You don't have anything. You don't have any coders in your company. You just want the softwares, the readily available softwares like Microsoft Outlook, Microsoft Teams, and Power BI. So those kind of readily available software, if you want, then you can go and ask for the software as a service. You can opt the software as a service from cloud environment. So they will provide you the readily available softwares to you. Okay, so you are going to pay only for the usage of those softwares. Got the difference between IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS? Any doubt in that?
No.
Okay, I'm hearing only one voice always. Others, please do respond.
Yeah.
No, not all. Fine.
Fine, right? Okay, thanks for responding. Okay. Then now we are going to see what kind of service the Azure is going to provide. That means the cloud is going to provide, and what we need to take care. Okay. For example, consider if it is on premises. See, this is on premises. Everything needs to take care by ourselves. See, green means what you are going to manage. Blue means the cloud provider is managing. Okay. So in this on premises, see, everything is going to be managed by you only. The storage, networking, compute, virtual machines, operating system, the development environments, the application development, the data and access management, everything is going to be managed by you. Okay. But if you come to the public cloud in the IaaS service, that is infrastructure as a service, see, they are going to manage the storage layer, networking layer, and compute layer. Okay. Till the compute layer, they will give you. Over that compute layer, you are going to have your own virtual machines or operating system. Then in that virtual machine or operating system, you are going to have your development environment. There you are going to create your application. So from the application, you are going to create the data, modify the data, and give access to users. Those kind of things are you are going to manage. Okay. So till the compute layer, the cloud provider will give. Okay. Then coming to PaaS service, see, till the development environment, they will give. Till the development environment, they are going to support you. So over the development environment, you are going to create your application. Okay, you are going to create your own applications. So with the help of application, you are going to store the data, access the data, and give access to the users. Those kind of things you are going to take care. Okay, in software as a service, till application layer, they are going to support you. That means they are going to give you the readily available application to you directly. Okay. So with the help of application, you are going to only generate the data, modify the data, and transform the data and access the data. Okay. Now you got a clear overview about the difference between IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS, I hope. Okay. Since you said you don't have any doubt in this, I am moving to the next concept called serverless computing. Okay. So in Azure, we used to call this two as a serverless computing, function and logic app. Okay. First, I will explain you what is Azure function and what is logic apps. Then I will explain you why it is called as a serverless computing. Okay. So Azure function is nothing but it's a kind of what to say, executor where you can create Azure function and you can write a code in it. Okay, if you are a .NET developer, you can create a Azure function, you can start writing a .NET code, and you can say execute. It will execute the .NET code. Okay, so that is called as Azure function. Okay, if any event happens, execute the code. If any timer triggers, execute the code. So like that, you can create the Azure function. Okay, so logic apps. So what is Azure logic apps? Logic apps is for orchestrating your workflow. So orchestration means, for example, you're having 10 Azure services. Okay, you need to execute, you need to call each and everything. So what you can do is you can orchestrate in a logic apps. You can create the logic app and say, execute this first, execute this second. Once this got completed, proceed with the third. So like that, you can orchestrate the workflow. So for that, this logic apps will work. So both comes under the serverless computing concept. So by the name, you can see serverless computing. So you should not think like there is no server at all. Logically, without a server, you cannot process anything. You cannot compute anything, right? So, but why they are calling this as a serverless computing? Because as a developer, you don't need to worry about the configuration of the server. You don't need to worry about upgrading or downgrading the server or configuring the server. You can directly create the function. You can start writing the code in it. You can directly orchestrate the logic apps. Okay, instead of worrying about the server, you are doing your activity. So in a developer point of view, it is a serverless. So only they named it as serverless computing. Okay, so you should not think it doesn't have a server. It is obviously it should have a server, but as a developer, it is a serverless computing to you. Okay, any doubts still here? Can consider the silence as a no.
No, it's okay.
Okay. Will I get this PPT? This is a trainer PPT. I will try to give you another document. Okay, it is going to have all the topics that I covered as a basics. Okay, Priyanka, I will share a detailed document to you. It is going to have all the concepts covered in that, the basic concepts. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Let me go to the next module. Okay, so our next module is core Azure services. Okay, so there are, I said, right, there are around 200 plus services available in Azure. So we cannot see each and everything. So to know the fundamentals of Azure, you need to know what are the core services available in Azure. And we are going to, as a data engineers, we are going to concentrate on the data engineering related services. Okay, so first we will see what are the core services available in Azure. Okay, core services means the storage, what are the core services is there, networking related, what are the things are there. So some 4 to 5 core services we will see. Before moving to that, I'm going to show you about the Azure regions and region pairs and all. Okay, so here you can see this is the Azure region. Okay, you can see Azure is spread globally. You can see it is having data centers all over the globe. Like, see, it is having more than 60 plus region covered. In India itself, they have South India, Central India, and West India. And if you go to US, they're having more than 10 data centers in US itself, 10 to 15. And if you move to the Europe region, see, you can see 10 plus thing in Europe region. Okay, and if you go to China, they are having, and in UAE also they are having, and Africa they have 2, and in Brazil they have 1. In Australia they have 5. Okay, so these are all the blue dots that you are seeing is the available region currently. Okay, and the dotted lines you are seeing, right? Dotted circle that you are seeing, right? Those are all announced region. That means it is in progress. They are building their data centers there. Okay. Once it is up and running, they will update in their Microsoft portal, Azure portal. So you can get the updates over there. And the blue dots with the triangle inside it, okay, that is availability zones. So availability zones, I will explain you in the next slide. Okay, what is availability zone and what is the advantage in that? Okay, so now you understood, right? Why Azure is a market leader and what is Azure region, everything. So first of all, what is Azure region? So Azure region means if you take this South India region, it is going to have one or more data centers. Okay, South India region is going to have one or more data centers. Comprises of that one or more data center, they used to call it as a one region. Okay, they used to call it as one region. So next we are going to see about region pairs. So what is this region pair? So see, North Central US and South Central US is a pair. East US and West US is a pair. Like that, where is, okay, Southeast Asia and East Asia is a pair. So like that, see, India South and India Central is a pair. So they have this condition. So if they need to call it as a region pair, it should be at least 300 miles away. For example, South India data center is 300 miles away from the Central India data center. Why they have kept this condition? Because if at all any natural calamity is happening in any one of the region, for example, consider in Central India data center, if any major shutdown is happening, okay, so if you connect these two as a region pair, then the user will not get affected. Okay, the user will not get affected. They will get the service from the South India region. Got it? So only they are maintaining this 300-mile separation between the regions. Okay, so if at all one is going down, they are going to give the service from the second one. Okay, and if at all they are going to do any patch update in the South India region, okay, if they want to update any patch, first they will do in the South India region. Once it is completed and it is up and running, then only they will go to the Central India region, because at the same time, if they are doing the patch update, then the customers will face an interruption, right? They will face some network lagging or interruption they will face. So they, to avoid that, they will do one by one only. Okay, for that also this region pass helps. So due to this, the downtime is getting reduced. Downtime means what? So whenever the server is going down for some time and you couldn't be able to access the data or process any data, that is going to be called as a downtime. So with the help of this region pair, it is able to reduce the downtime. Okay. Hope you understand this. Okay. Here comes the availability option. So what is this availability option? So availability option here it is, for example, you are creating one virtual machine. Okay, one virtual machine. That SLA is going to be 99.9%. That means they are saying that 99.9% it will be available. Okay, but if you take the same virtual machine in the availability zone, okay, first I will show you what is availability zone, then we will come to this availability option. So availability zone means inside the same region, they will be having this multiple zones. Okay, zone 1, zone 2, zone 3. So what is this zones? Okay, zones is a data center. Okay, these are all data center which will have their separate cooling unit, separate power supply, and separate networking. Okay, this zone will have separate cooling unit, power unit, networking unit. This zone, this data center will have it separate. This data center will have it separate. But all these data center will connect it to a fiber optic network connection. Because if something happened to the networking layer in this zone 1, these two zones will not get affected. If you are going to give same networking unit for all these 3 zones, then if that networking single network is going down, then all these 3 zones will get affected. So to overcome that, they are maintaining the separate cooling, power, and networking. Okay, independent for all these 3 data centers. So comprises of all these three things, they call it as a availability zone. Okay, so instead of single Azure region, they call it as an availability zone. Okay, so now coming here, if you are deploying virtual machine, only a single virtual machine, normally it is going to have 99% high availability. Okay, availability. But if you are deploying the virtual machine in availability zone, see, zone 1, zone 2, zone 3, you are deploying the virtual machine. that means it is going to give you more availability. That means 99.99% availability. Okay. In case if you're deploying the virtual machine in region pairs, okay, this region is going to have some availability zone. This region is also going to have availability zone. So it is going to give you more SLA. So it will give you approximately 99.999% SLA. Okay. So the downtime is very, very less if you go for the region pairs. So I hope you got the availability zones, regions. You got all these things, right? Any doubt in this region pairs, availability zones? Okay. Can take this silence as a no.
Yeah, okay.
Can you please explain the region pairs again? I'm not clear about that.
Fine. So you understand what is regions, right?
Yeah, regions is fine. Region
Okay,
pair
region.
means like why they maintain that.
Now region pair means, see here, consider you having two regions, one is South India and Central India, right? So South India and Central India is called as a region pair. So to have it as a region pair, Azure is having a criteria that both the regions needs to be 300 miles away from each other. Okay, so our South India region, Central India data center is 300 miles away from each other. So they are calling it as a Azure region. Why we need Azure region? Sorry, why we need a Azure region pair? Because if at all one is going down in a pair means two, right? In two of the regions, if one is going down, the one would be up. So only they are maintaining this 300 miles distance. Okay. So if at all any natural calamities or any other calamities happening and one data center or one region is going down, so you will not lose the service from the other region. The other region is going to serve you. Okay. Consider some natural calamities happened. So in South India, okay. So there is a power shutdown for 2 days. In the 2 days, all the power backup, everything will go, right? So at that time, you the people should not who and all got the service from Azure, they should not face any downtime in their server, or they should not face any downtime at all. So at that time, they will get the service from the Central India data center. So for that only this region
here, my point here, like if in that case means like they are maintaining the redundant of the service from one place to another place. That's what it's mean, right? Like in one area it is down,
yes.
in other redundant area they are upping the service. Okay.
Yes, it is. Okay. So some the services, if you take for example some computing services, it is automatically going to replicate the data. For example, take some storage account. Okay. So you are creating some storage account that is going to automatically replicate the data in these two regions. So it is going to have a copy in the other region as well. If it is a region pair, you are opting for region pair. Okay. So at that time, if one region is going down, you can get the data from the other region. Okay. So those kind of things and all you can get it from this region pair.
The data replication will be the same in both the data centers, right?
Sorry?
Data replication is the same in both the data centers, both the regions.
Yeah, both the regions, the data will get replicated and it will be available.
And can we consider it is a real-time replication or any latency between these two regions?
No, whenever you are storing the data, it will get replicated automatically. So it's a real-time replication.
In both the regions at a time?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, but it all depends on how you are configuring it. Whenever you are deploying a service, how you are configuring it. If you want to do these kind of things, then you need to pay more because they are going to maintain a separate thing for you, right? They are going to keep a replicated data over there. They are going to give you a redundancy. So those things and all, if you are going for that configuration, you need to pay more. Pay more in the sense compared to the lower service, you are going to pay a bit high for those services. Okay, so it totally depends on the project cost management. And based on the requirement only, you are going to do it. So it totally depends on that.
Here, I got one doubt. Like if I am a customer from the South India, if I want to create the service from the South Indian, I want to access my business from the South Indian region. So if at all, like I'm getting the one replication in the India Central. So means like my data wouldn't available in the US region.
It will not be available in US region. If want, you can replicate and keep it in a US region also separately. this is region pair, but the replication you can do in whatever region you want.
Means
That
my
is a
query
separate
is here.
application.
My query is here. Like if I suppose I'm running some business from the South India, so I'm because of the cost construction. So I just make a one replication in the Indian Central. So if I have a one customer from the South Central America, maybe North Central US or somewhere. So automatically the customer who are accessing there from that region, they are facing the latency, right? Obviously.
Yes, they will face.
Okay. Means if I have a single customer also, I have to buy the South Central region also.
No need to.
No,
you can keep a replication of data. You can deploy the storage in the South Central US also if you want. Okay, but it is not going to affect that much. If you are having one customer, he is not going to face that much latency. If you are going to have some hundreds of customers and everyone is going to hit at the same time, that time you may face a latency. It totally depends. But yeah, I know you are asking for an example. Yeah, I'm saying you need to maintain it separately if you want. You got it?
Yeah, got it.
Thank you. So I hope you all are good with these concepts. So I will share the documents to you for the basic Azure fundamentals. So tomorrow we will continue with the rest of the things, and we will try to complete the fundamentals tomorrow, okay? Or the day after tomorrow we will try to complete. Mostly we will try to complete the fundamentals tomorrow, so that we can start on our data engineering tech stacks, storage units, everything from the next to next class. Okay. So as a first class, I think this is enough. So you can go through the documents that I'm going to share it with you. So it will help you to recollect whatever we saw.
Yeah, Harun, I have one question. So what is the duration for this course, actually?
It is 40 hours.
40
hours.
40 hours. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
40 hours, it is possible to complete the whole concepts. That's my point, because I'm not comparing the things. I'm just as a doubt, like a benefit of doubt, I'm just asking. So when I come across the other market things and all, right, they are almost covering the 60 hours, 65 hours, like more than 2 months for the same whole coverage. So is that fine to complete the 40 hours, right? So if you tell, if it is
I can
completed
openly say that if you want, I can take the session for 80 hours also to you. Okay. I can take the session for 80 hours also. But I'm saying this is the concept. This is going to be there in the module for doing the DP-203. These are all the concepts. It may extend to 50 hours also. Okay. It is not in our hand. Okay. While doing the practical demo session, it may exceed to 50 hours also, or it may reduce to 30 hours also. It totally depends on. But if you want for 60 hours, I'm happy to take it for 60 hours. If you want for 80 hours, I'm happy to take it for 80 hours. We are not time bounded here. Okay. We are not time bounded here. We are saying approximately 40 hours. Okay. As per the syllabus that we framed, we are saying approximately 40 hours, but it may increase in future. Okay.
Yeah, fine. Like, don't take it another way. I'm just.
No. I know that you are.
My sense
what is your fear? You are thinking like you are going to miss any topics. Don't worry about it. DP-203 is having a set of topics as per Microsoft standard. DP-203 is having a set of topics. Without covering all those topics, you cannot be able to write the DP-203 examination. Okay. So we need to cover as a MCT. It is my responsibility to cover all the concepts from DP-203 module. Okay. So once we complete these fundamentals, I will show you the DP-203 course content to you, the official Microsoft course content to you, and the percentage of questions that they are going to ask from each of the module. So you will get to know by that time. Okay.
Means this whole course only targeting the DP-203, right?
It is targeting DP-203. Yes. If you want to master in Databricks and PySpark, then I can support you that as well. Okay. If you want to master in Databricks and PySpark coding, I can support you on that. I can give you the capstone project. When I'm taking the Databricks, I can take in-depth concepts of Databricks, Spark architecture, and I can give you more demos on the Databricks concepts, everything.
No, like my requirement here is so not to get the certificate. Certificate is apart from me because I have some requirement in my current organization where I'm going to be part need to do some POCs. So the by keeping the mind in DP-203, I'm absolutely not coming here. So my part is to excel in the complete data engineering stream. That's my my expectation around. Hope I'll meet the standards, the whole content.
Microsoft, Microsoft is not a small company. So if they are targeting to create some certification module, means they are going to have all the data engineering modules in their syllabus. I hope you understand. Microsoft is not going to create a simple module like, see, I'm an individual person. If I'm creating a module for you, then you can complain that, hey, you are creating this module. This is not sufficient for a data engineer. If Microsoft itself sit along with hundreds of data engineers and validating it and creating a module for a data engineer, then you should understand it is a good syllabus for you to become a data engineer. Okay. Then adding to that, I can support you on the Databricks coding part and PySpark. Whoever is interested on that, I can concentrate more on those things as well for you.
Yeah, we need that too.
Yes, we
Actually,
can concentrate on that as well.
So DP-203 is very good. Like we can take an attempt, and as well like just support us to complete hands-on Excel in the whatever the in-depth technical required things, because we are not know like what is there exactly. So that I can't speak anything what is there actually. So that's what.
No need to worry about it. Yeah, I understand your concern. We will definitely see. I said right. I will support you in the Databricks in deeper, so that you will understand how to code and how to deploy everything. I will make sure that you are doing that.
Yeah, sir, what's the flow for data engineering? Firstly, ADF, then Databricks. What?
Sorry, Priyanka, come again.
Yeah, I'm asking that in data engineering, you first start with ADF, then Databricks, or what will be the flow with this?
No, as per our syllabus, we are going to. Okay, we'll do one thing. So most of you are really interested in in-depth data engineering concepts. Then we can go in that flow. Okay, once we completed this Azure basics, okay, we can go with the in-depth data engineering tech stack itself. Then we can try to complete the DP-203 syllabus once we master in the data engineering tech stacks. Okay, I hope this works for everyone, because anyway we are going to complete the DP-203 thing as well as we are going to see about the in-depth data engineering concepts. So we will see. Okay, answering to your question, Priyanka, we will see what is data factory. Okay, once you get mastered in data factory, we are going to see about the Databricks. Okay, so once you master in these two things, then Azure Synapse Analytics is a piece of cake for you, because if you know both these things, then you are going to have a unified thing in the Azure Synapse Analytics Studio. Okay.
Okay.
So these are the three main things. If you have did some basic research of Azure Data Engineer, you might have came across these three topics only. There are two topics only. That is Data Factory and Databricks. Okay. So we will master in Data Factory and Databricks first. Then we will try to complete other topics. Is it okay for you all?
Yeah, like PySpark also part of those, right? Whatever you
whenever I'm
mentioned.
saying Databricks, PySpark will be a part of Databricks, because in Databricks we are going to code it using the PySpark. In Databricks means first we will learn about the Spark architecture, then we will learn about the Databricks. Then in Databricks I will make you to code it PySpark.
Super.
Okay. So what I will do is I will make some corrections in the course content, okay, and I will share it with Ganesh, so that he will share it with you all, so you can be more confident on what you are going to study in this course. Okay. But before that, I need to make sure that you all know what is Azure. So I need one more class for that, so that I can complete the basic fundamentals in Azure. Then we can start with the tech stacks. Is it okay for you all?
Yes. And Arun, like one more final concern from my end. So because the class timing would be somewhere around 8 to 9, right? So for my login time was somewhere around 8:30. Like currently I'm in login actually. So can we have any alternate slot for the same class? If at all other guys have no objection.
Actually, my availability is from 8 to 9 on Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. So let me check once. Give me a second.
Or else like any if other guys are okay to take that, so because
Morning time, if you guys are okay with the morning time,
my timing would be set now. My clock start now, like from 8:30 to morning 3:30, 4:30. So I have to be stay continue the
I will
whole night.
discuss with Ganesh. Okay, I will discuss this with Ganesh, and I will come up with a plan.
Because why I put query here, right? If you discuss with the Ganesh also, he need to check with the other people's availability also. So anyhow,
Yes.
all people here, right? Will take the concerns.
Actually, I have a hot stop here. I need to jump to another call. So only I scheduled this 8 to 9. We'll do one thing.
Okay.
Tomorrow also we will connect from 8 to 9. So tomorrow in the starting 5 minutes, we will discuss about this so that from the next class, we will try to find some suitable time for everyone. Okay.
Sure. That's great to hear. Thank you.
Tomorrow is 8 to 9 only, so we can connect on the time. Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
Thanks, Harun. Thanks.
Ganesh, I will connect with you by 9:30 p.m. Ganesh.
Sure, Arun. We can connect. So any other questions? Priyanka, Venkatesh, Vinay, Anthony, Kalyan?
Yeah, in offline